What's up you guys, Calvin here, and welcome back to my channel, where today I wanted to give my opinion on a video that is circling around the internet right now. By the way, if you're new, I'm getting rid of this. If there's any audio issues or this weird spot in the video, it's because my computer is fucked up, okay? I'm working on building a new computer at the minute, so when that is done, the problems will no longer persist. But I want to talk about this video that has been circling the internet lately, which is the video of the transgender woman in the Gamestop flipping the fuck out. I'm gonna play the video right now, so if you've already seen it, I'll put a timestamp where you can skip to if you don't want to rewatch it, but this is the video that I'm gonna be discussing today.
We're not doing credit. You're gonna give me my fucking money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
Both of you guys?
Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
I need your corporate number because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
I apologize for that.
I need your corporate number now.
I can get that for you. Feel like that's not a problem.
Get it for me now.
I can do that. I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your
Stop
corporate
hitting
number.
destroying property.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes,
I'm
get it
just
for me
asking-
now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Give me the damn number now, please. Ooh!
Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh!
I apologize, ma'am. I will get you that number right now.
No, you're just going to keep bumping your gums. You're just going to keep bumping your gums and disrespecting trans people in this store, which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community. You're going to lose money over this.
So when I initially saw this video, I had a lot of mixed emotions, and before I said anything publicly about it, I wanted to look into what other people were saying, specifically other people in the trans community, and specifically, you know, people who weren't trans. And so what I noticed is that most of the people who are not trans and don't follow the trans community were like, wow, you're fucking psycho, this is why we don't like transgenders, this is why transgenders shouldn't be allowed in the, you know, restrooms, and just using the video to then judge all trans people, which I knew is what happens. By the way, I'm trans. I was assigned female at birth, so I transitioned to male. And so my viewers know this about me, but I'm assuming that this is a highly, you know, searched topic right now, and I want to make it very clear that I in no way like to associate with crazy trans people. I'm not gonna lie, and I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but there are trans people who are legitimately crazy. Like, they legitimately think that because they are trans, they deserve every right in the world, and that they're the most oppressed person on earth, which is not the case. I have mixed emotions on this video, and I've seen a lot of trans people on one extreme being like, oh, well, she was misgendered, like, how was she supposed to react? And then other people saying, I don't care, like, this is a man, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm obviously going to be referring to this person as a she, because I think that this is somebody who, from, like, at least what I'm looking at, I think this is somebody who's very early in their transition. So, for me, I've been taking hormones for years. I've had surgery, blah, blah, blah. I obviously pass as a male. And with transitioning to male, it's actually much easier to be what we call cis-passing, as in, to the general public, I look like a normal run-of-the-mill guy. But for MTF people, male to female people, it's much harder for them to be cis-passing and for them to appear as the gender that they identify with. So testosterone for FTM people like me changes your voice. My voice used to be high, it's low now, I have a male voice. But with estrogen, when you transition male to female, your voice doesn't change. It doesn't get any higher. So, unfortunately, a lot of MTF people, especially those who transition later in life, end up androgynous looking, but then having a super deep voice that gets them clocked. It was very obvious that this woman was wearing women's clothing. What I want to see is the entire video, not just when the camera was turned on. I want to see the entire thing that went down. But from what I'm presented, what I can tell is that this trans woman is somebody who was really early in her transition, or I mean, I guess I could be completely wrong, and this could be somebody who's been out as trans for years and just has very unfortunate genes. Obviously, you know, when as a male, you get really tall a lot of the time. Your voice gets deep, you have a male body, and estrogen can change those things, but it's much harder than to transition FTM. It's really hard to pass as female when you've gone through male puberty. So I think that this trans woman does what she can to pass, but because of her going through male puberty, it's hard for her to pass. I just really quick do want to say that for anyone who comes on and says that this is a man, because I don't think that this person is a man. Do I think this person was extremely unhinged? Yes, I do, and I do not condone. I'm going to talk about that, but I just do want to point out that we should be respectful of this person. It's really hard to pass MTF. There's no doubt in my mind that this is just a trans woman who's having a hard time passing. So this is when shit hits the fan. I don't care how rude somebody was to you. I don't care if you got misgendered. I do care, but I don't care to see trans people overreacting like this. This is not the appropriate way to react to somebody misgendering you. Now, I only have the context of the iPhone video, so I don't know what occurred before. I don't know how harsh this person was. I don't know how rude this cashier was. I don't know what other people in the store were saying, but from the context of the video, it very much seems as though this person was just overwhelmed with rage and went fucking crazy, okay? And the thing is, you can't fight fire with fire. Two wrongs don't make a right. Personally, before I was on testosterone, even after being on testosterone, I've been misgendered one time. If I was to get misgendered, I would not start screaming. I would not start pushing things over. I would not start yelling at somebody asking for a corporate number. Either one, I wouldn't correct them because I really don't care, okay? Like, unless it was somebody I'm going to be interacting with frequently, I wouldn't correct them. I'm never going to see you again. If I am going to correct them, I'm going to say politely, oh, by the way, I'm a male, or I'm a female if I was her. Even if I wanted to out myself, I'd say, oh, I'm a transgender male. I don't care what the situation was. That was so uncalled for. And all these trans people that are saying on Twitter and things, she was justified. Like, she had every right to go into this GameStop, start screaming at people, threaten the guy working there with physical violence, then knock shit over. That was uncalled for. She should not have done that, okay? I think, honestly, this is an example of why cis people view trans people badly. How do you guys expect cis people to, and you know what, people always say that I am kissing the ass of cis people. Well, you know what? There's a difference between kissing ass and explaining things in a logical way and being on the side of logic rather than feelings. Because for me personally, like, all of my opinions in the trans community are based on logic. I'm not going to base things on people's feelings. I'm not going to sit here and spare your feelings just because you want to be called WOWZER, okay? Not going to happen. I understand that she shouldn't have been misgendered. I understand that misgendering is rude, but from the context of the video, all that we know is that this guy misgendered her, called her, and she started raging. Like, in no way is that socially acceptable. It's like all these SJWs, what they do is that they get so defensive. They get overly defensive. You can see it from people that have interacted with me. I've been completely, and they go off. They freak out. They're like, you're transphobic, like, oh, I'm gonna report you. Like, I've never reported someone in my life, never blocked someone in my life, never done any of that, because at the end of the day, I have my opinions, you have yours. And if you want to critique me, and I really don't want to see it, mute them, okay? This woman could have easily just left. You can find a corporate phone number on your own. You didn't have to start screaming at the guy and say, give me corporate's number. You could have gone home and found corporate's number. You could have just left the store if you were so upset. There's no reason to start. And again, I also can be sympathetic with this woman because honestly, like, it's very frustrating, I think, probably to be misgendered like that a lot. And she could have been having an awful day. She could have already been misgendered that day. But again, it doesn't make it alright to start screaming at somebody like that. Like, just fucking crazy to me. Like, I don't understand why that was needed. And I don't understand why trans people are defending this and saying that that's the proper way to react. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you want people to respect you, you have to respect them. And I know that it can be hard to be respectful to somebody that may have misgendered you, who may have been rude to you because they're uneducated. But a lot of the time, cis people who aren't involved in the trans community just don't know. They don't know how to address trans people. They don't know how to interact with trans people the politically correct way. You have to have patience. Like, you have to understand that not everybody has read through every fucking blog on Tumblr about trans people like you have, okay? That's all I have to say, I think. I think that's all I have to say. I texted a few of my friends asking their opinions on this, and they all agreed with me, so I feel like I'm not the only one that feels this way. That's not the appropriate way to react to being misgendered. If you want people to respect you, respect them, be patient. Patience is very much key for people to understand your identity. You have to be patient, and you have to be open. That's the way society is. I know you want to live in a perfect world where everybody's going to respect you every single second of every day. We don't live in that world. I hope we can live in that world someday, but we don't right now. Every day, I get closer and closer to going stealth and quitting the trans community. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe down below, check out my new merch. We have new merch out. I'll make a whole video about that at some point. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. I love your face. Bye.